Welcome back. I'm here to talk about everybody's least favorite card, or the one that people just get really freaked out, or the reason why they won't use tarot is because of the devil right here. And yeah, it's not a good card, but I think the card after this is actually worse, at least in my experience. It's been worse when it shows up in a reading. It just represents materialism and deception. That's the devil. The devil is stuck in the mundane and not using a higher consciousness, not accessing intuition, just stuck in the physical form. That's the real devil. So you don't have to be like, oh my God, it's not like that. But you can see these people are trapped. They're the lovers. They're the same people from the Lovers card. And now they're chained to the material world, which is where we don't want to be. So if you get this card, it could be that you're lifting the veil, that there's some great change happening. Or it could be that you have a desire for that, to release that, and you're searching for the truth. Upside down is never good. It's usually greed, depression, temptation, giving in to those devil desires. So if this shows up, obviously take warning, right? But the card I've had a lot of, to me this is worse. These are people literally falling out of a lightning strike tower. So for me, when this shows up, it's catastrophe. That's what this card means. And that's what's happening. It could be positive in the fact that, everything happens for a reason, that idea, and it's illuminating. There's some kind of catastrophe or thing happening to illuminate a problem. If it's this way, it's, ignorance and anger and strife, impulsiveness, negativity. So for me, when this one shows up, it's usually something's happening or about to happen. So this one is important, I think. They all are, but that one especially. And then our next card is the Star. It's like after those two, it's like, okay, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's discovery and aspiration, that idea of like a star seed or star child, that we're all made out of stars. It's enlightenment, it's inspiration, it's optimism, it's achievement, it's beautiful. Other way is unstable, pessimism, loneliness. Just think about the star, if we think the positive aspects of the star, the celestial being versus the negative vacuum of space, right? So it kind of helps you associate that. The next one is the Moon, which is usually a feminine type card. It's an attainment, imagination, dreams, the things we associate with water, that emotional, watery unconsciousness of dreamland. And so this shows up, usually there's something some emotion, some spirituality shift or change. And then if it's this way, then it's the negative part of the dreamer, the fantasy, the living in the fantasy, the deception, the lies, right? So this way is the positive aspects of dreams and visions. Next one always represents my son. He is such a little sunshine. But in a normal other people's spread that doesn't have that connection, it's renewal, the sun, and it's masculine energy. It's energy, it's vitality, it's vibrance. It's everything we associate with the sun, that life-giving energy. Negative is wasting that energy. Wasted talents, judgment, arrogance, not having a lot of energy, right? All that negative aspect. We're getting to the end of the deck. And we're going to have judgment next, which makes sense. A lot of people in different religious places believe that at the end there's judgment. And this is Archangel Gabriel signifying, calling everybody out of they look like corpse, and they're coming up and they're rejoicing. It's awareness, this card, and it talks about faith and inner listening, intuition, the idea of immortality, that higher self. If it's this way, it's the opposite. It's lacking the faith, the materialism. It's the belief that when we're dead, and there is no soul, there is no higher consciousness, right? I hardly ever get this card. I think it's beautiful though. And the next one is the World, and these were all in the Wheel of Fortune. Now they're grown-up versions, and I love her. I think this is a beautiful card. I've had this one, meditated on this one quite a few times. Keyword is cosmic consciousness. So we talk about the collective consciousness, that we're all one world, the universal idea of that. That's the world. There's completion, there's victory here. You know, you have that wreath of victory. There's reward, there's insight, there's fulfillment. It's the end of the journey. It's the positivity of the end of that fool's journey, right? That happiness, that enlightenment in the clouds. The other way is limitations and negativity, anxiety, materialism, unwise actions, you know, really worldly issues weighing you down. This way, ascending the worldly issues and having that positive feeling. And so you can use that to work with each one of those cards, those major arcana, and start to kind of form your own connections. And like I said, meditate with them. You can draw with them. You can make, you know, a playlist. You know, you can put them in different orders and tell different stories for yourself. That's really the best way to get to know them. It doesn't mean you can't start doing a spread right away. I would hold off on doing it for someone else until you know a little more, but you can definitely start to get to know your cards this way. The next step after this is to start doing some basic spreads. You can make up your own, and you can, you know, do other things like that for yourself. Sorry, my cat's at the door. And we'll talk about spreads next time.